Solutions. BMRS is a leader in the motorsports industry, manufacturing racing components that consistently deliver top performance and services while pushing for continuous improvement. BMRS products are used by just about every NARC race car team in the pit area. For more information, go to bmrs.net. And here is your lineup for Brown and Miller Racing Solutions Heat Race number 1. On the pole, in the Keller Motorsports 2K out of Lemoore, California, and Speedway Power XXX chassis sponsored by Monarch Ford, Dawson Malden Construction, and Legacy of California, it's Gage Garcia. Outside of him, your reigning champion in the Midget Motorsports 2X from Aromas, California, Fisher-powered KPC chassis, sponsored by MidgetConstruction.com, U-Bus Letter Aviation, and North County Plastering, it's Justin Sanders. Starting third in the BK Motorsports 29 from Campbell, California, and a Schaefer-powered Maxim chassis, sponsored by Aviso Rock, Electric Construction Company, Williams Roofing, and High Five Pizza, it's Bud Kading. Starting fourth, your quick qualifier this evening in the Gary Selzy Motorsports 41 from Fresno, California, Kistler-powered Maxim chassis, sponsored by Excelsi Enterprises, Red Rose Transportation, and Whipple Superchargers. Here is Dominic Selzy. Starting fifth in the 35 KM, the main motorsports entry from Harrisburg, Oregon, a Kistler-powered Maxim chassis, sponsored by Kyle Main Motorsports, Hamp Construction, A-Main Trucking, it's Tyler Thompson. Starting sixth in the Midget Motorsports 2XM from Redding, California, a Shark-powered KPC chassis, sponsored by MidgetConstruction.com, Shasta Realty Group, and Steve Manning Construction, it's Max Mitri. Starting seventh in the Ridgecrest Racing 5K from White City, Oregon, and the Schaefer-powered XXX chassis, sponsored by Ridgecrest Homes, Hawk Wings, and American Flowtech, this is Blaine Corey. And starting eighth in the Steve and Tammy Clark entry from Windsor, California, Kistler-powered Helix chassis, sponsored by CCI Electrical, Buster Southern Barbecue, and Jerry's Valero Gas Station, John Clark. And that is your lineup for Brown and Miller Racing Solutions Heat Race number 1. Dominic Selzy as the quick qualifier in this heat race. All he has to do is finish top 5, and he will be in tonight's Beacon Wealth Strategies Raymond James Trophy Dash, along with the winner of this heat race. Now, if Selzy were to win, he would be the only car to transfer in. We have a car not making the call, and it's Gage Garcia, your scheduled pole sitter. So that's going to shuffle the field. Sanders to the inside, Bud Kading to the outside of row 1. Race fans, you ready for the sprint car races? First of 3 heat races, 410 sprint car action here in Roseburg. Here we go, heat race number 1. Justin Sanders to the point. He's going to lead lap 1 over Bud Kading, Dominic Selzy, Max Mitri, and Tyler Thompson, who are racing for that 4th spot. Mitri got more graphics on that top wing from what he had earlier. May have changed wings. Running in that 4th spot, Dominic Selzy up in 3rd right now, looking to lock himself into the dash in that 41 car. Up front, it's Justin Sanders leading by about a second over Bud Kading. Got into the loose stuff a little bit in turn 4 just now, and Kading shaving a few tenths of a second off of Sanders' lead halfway through this first 8-lap heat race. There's Kading in the 29. Sanders, your leader, ahead of him in the 2X. Looks like a nice hole developing at the top of turn 3. Oh, Justin Sanders leading by 3/4 of a second. And he's going to see the white flag from Ed Entz. One more time around. Making his way through 3. And out of 4, Justin Sanders wins Brown and Miller Racing Solutions Heat 1. Buck Kading 2nd, Dominic Selzy 3rd, Max Mitry 4th, Tyler Thompson 5th. Then Blaine Corey and John Clark. Your winner of heat race number 1, the Mitry Motorsports 2X from Aromas, California, Fisher Power KPC chassis, sponsored by MitryConstruction.com, Yuba Sutter Aviation, North County Plastering, High Performance Lubricants, FK Rod-Ins, and TJ Forged. Your reigning NARC champion, let him hear ya, Justin Sanders. Winning a heat race for, I believe, the 2nd night in a row this week. Next up, Chemo's Tropical Car Wash, heat race number 2. Chemo's 3 washes in the greater Reedley, California area. If you're down in California for one of our NARC races later this year and you're going through Reedley, stop by one of their locations and get cleaned up after the night's races. Jim Taves is the owner of Chemo's Tropical Car Washes, and he is a former NARC Hammer Down Rookie of the Year. And here is your lineup for Chemo's Tropical Car Wash heat race number 2. On the pole in the Tarleton Motorsports 21 from Alice Springs, Australia, in a Kistler-powered and Maxim chassis, sponsored by Tarleton & Son, American Rock and Rent, and Durst Incorporated, it's James McFadden, your winner from last night down in Medford. Starting second in the JRS Motorsports 21S from Arlington, Washington, in a Shark Power XXX chassis, sponsored by Grinders Automotive and Marine, XXX Race Co. Johansson Mechanical and High Performance Lubricants is Jesse Schlotfeld. Starting third in the Pro Racing 15 from Tucson, Arizona, in a Kistler-powered and Maxim chassis, sponsored by Parker Automotive, Metaltech Fabrications, Tynerhurst Enterprise, and TDR Concepts, it's Nick Parker. Starting fourth, your quick qualifier in this group in the Don Bjork 7B from Oroville, California, in a Schaefer-powered and Maxim chassis, sponsored by Bjork Construction Company, D&J Construction Rental Equipment, Roxy Properties, and Fire Protection Management. It's the Shark, Sean Becker. Starting fifth in the Billy Aton Racing 26 from Benicia, California, a Kistler-powered XXX chassis, sponsored by Legacy Glass, Redline Oil, Transport Products Unlimited, and Bill Aton Painting, it's Billy Aton. Starting sixth in the Netto Ag 88N from Hanford, California, Ryder-powered KPCs, sponsored by Netto Ag, Penny Newman Grain, Van de Paul, and Smith Tie, it's DJ Netto. Starting seventh and the Nate Johnston 22K from Central Point, Oregon, in a Snodder-powered KPC, sponsored by Sealing Specialties, Smith Motorsports, and Cook Crane, it's Jake Wheeler. And starting eighth in the Robustelli Racing 27C from Medford, in an powered XXX chassis, sponsored by Hard Rock Tops, the Jim Nelson Bigfoot Dwarf Car Race, and Tom White Trucking, it's Camden Robustelli. That's your lineup for Chemo's Tropical Car Wash heat race number 2. Just got word from Jim Allen, Gage Garcia doing an engine swap in the 2K here. Mr. Tomlinson got that note as well. Nick Petruzzi tuned in on FloRacing. Nathan Prince, one of the really nice guys out there doing a lot of great video work here. He's tuned in as well on FloRacing. So Sean Becker in the 7B finishes top 5. He's going to the Beacon Wealth Strategies, as is the winner of this race. Looking to join Justin Sanders and Dominic Selzy. Pace vehicle off the track. James McFadden, your winner last night. And Jesse Schlotfeld, who won the Rick Brown Memorial here back in May. They lead the way. Heat 2 underway. Big wheel stand by Nick Parker in that 15 car off of turn 2. Battling for fourth with Aton. Aton has the spot in the 26 car. James McFadden to the lead over Schlotfeld And Aton gets by Becker for third. Parker running in fifth, and DJ now getting by Camden Robustelli for sixth. Up front, meanwhile, it's all James McFadden. He's already got a 1.2 second lead just a few laps into this. Sean Becker running fourth in the 7B. Billy Aton at 26 ahead of him in third. Aton over 2 seconds back of second place, Jesse Schlappfeld. 5 down, 3 to go in this second heat race. There is Schlappfeld, a second behind McFadden. And Schlappfeld was actually quicker on the prior lap, but getting to loose stuff that time around and losing a little bit more ground. Second and a half back of McFadden, who gets the white flag. Now cruising 2 seconds ahead. Oh, we got an engine expiring right in front of McFadden. And caution is going to come out here. We got an engine fire here on Jake Wheeler's 22K. We go red. Wheeler is out of the car. They were doing work on that car today, and that thing was literally on the dyno just a couple of days ago here. Safety workers quickly on the scene. The DC Motorsports Fire and Safety Team, the KC Extreme Fire Safety Team, is joining us all week for the fastest 5 days. Their team's quickly on the scene. As we go red here, this race not over yet as far as I know. And he's walking away. Jake Wheeler, give him a hand race, fans. Scary seeing that motor on that 22K expiring in spectacular fashion. And now we got issues on the 27C of Robustelli. Bizarre. Safety workers quickly on that as well. There we saw fumes coming out of Robustelli's car.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of smoke coming out of Robustelli's car there, and then all of a sudden it was a lot more smoke.
This race over yet? No. What? So this race is not over here. They will do a green-white checkered here. Race was not completed before McFadden could cross the line. We will have a little bit of cleanup here, as we can see on FloRacing. A lot of fluid on the racetrack from underneath the 22K machine here on the front stretch. They literally put that car together a couple of days ago to run last night's show. Did more work on it today. And now, unfortunately, this here. And as far as I know there, that probably ends their night.
Hey, Andrew. I got down here in the 22K car. Basically what happened there is he blew a rod right out of the side of the motor, and obviously that caught fire. And up here, I don't know if I really like these headers down here, but they're basically fire was coming out of his muffler right onto his tires, ended up catching fire. Good news, nobody is hurt.
Thank you, Jim. And they're picking up the rear end of Robustelli's car. They had issues last night as well, and thought they had everything fixed for today's show. Robustelli is planning to run the entire week with us, at least here in Oregon, and if all went well, go all the way to Skagit for Dirt Cup next week.
I got a quick update on the 50-50. So that pot is up to $1,000. So if you haven't already gotten your tickets for 50-50, you better jump in there for an opportunity to win $1,000 or more, as that will continue to go up. And once again, the 50-50 brought here by the UVC Junior class and Oregon Tool and Supply.
So someone's going to go home with a little extra cash here tonight. Great crowd here tonight, by the way, at the Douglas County Dirt Track in Roseburg here. So that's 2 nights in a row here. Great crowds here in Oregon. Expecting more of the same tomorrow night. Our third stop in the fastest 5 days in motorsports tomorrow night at the Cottage Grove Speedway here. That's just south of Eugene. For those not familiar watching on FloRacing, we're making our way north up I-5 this week. And then Saturday, we go to Willamette Speedway in Lebanon, Oregon. That is just outside of Salem. And then Sunday, we wrap things up with the Timber Cup at Grays Harbor Raceway in Elma, Washington. That is just west of Olympia. We get a couple days off, and then big show, the $100,000 to win Jim Raper Memorial Super Dirt Cup at Skagit Speedway on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, the 19th, 20th, and 21st here. However, on Wednesday, the 18th here, we got a couple of pre-Dirt Cup activities happening here. The Dirt Cup Charity Golf Tournament at Avalon Golf Links, just down the street from Skagit Speedway here. If you're joining us for the whole trip going north and you're a golfer, bring your golf clubs with you here. The Super Dirt Cup Charity Golf Tournament here. Proceeds benefiting the NARC Benevolent Fund, which you mentioned helps injured race car drivers and their families in need, and also the Race Rudine Foundation, which raises awareness and helps fight drug addiction here. And of course, we will have the annual pre-Dirt Cup party in Cedro Woolley later that evening here. Check out NARC King of the West and Skagit Speedway Facebook and other social media for info on how to attend those events there. But again, the charity golf tournament happening next Wednesday before Dirt Cup starts on Thursday. If you can't join us for the remaining races this week or for the Dirt Cup next week here, it will be all on FloRacing.
Yeah, once again, that's what you got coming up on Flow here at Douglas County Dirt Track. I mentioned it already, but our next race Tuesday, June 17th, IMCA Speed Week. We have the IMCA Modified, Sport Mods, and Stock Cars. That's going to be on IMCA TV. And then Friday, June 27th, Late Models, IMCA Modifieds, IMCA Sport Mods, and Hardtops, and that will be on Fast 4 Media. Big one coming up here on Flow when High Limit comes to town as well, August 25th. So if you don't have your tickets to put your rear end in our grandstands for that one, go ahead and shop and get your High Limit Racing tickets. August 25th, they will make their way here to the Douglas County Dirt Track. More 410 sprint cars. If you're liking what you're seeing so far, we'll see some more here then.
And speaking of that High Limit race, the driver who won that race last year is leading this heat race. And by the way, Lisa Dines just messaged me. She works at Skagit Speedway. 4 spots left. 4 spots for teams left here, if I'm understanding right, for the Dirt Cup Golf Tournament next Wednesday here. So you got a chance to still join in on the fun. Again, the proceeds benefit the NARC Benevolent Fund and the Race Rudine Foundation. And we're going to have our first single file restart of the week. We have the cone out front. No passing before the cone. No hitting the cone. Don't go below the cone. Otherwise, you will be penalized at the next stoppage. James McFadden approaching the MechTech Titanium restart zone. This will be a green-white checkered finish for heat race number 2. And here we go. And McFadden drives away. White flag is out as they continue to race further back in the field, but up front, making his way through 3 and out of 4 James McFadden wins Chemo's Tropical Car Wash Heat Race number 2. Schlottveld is second. Aton holds on to third over Sean Becker, Nick Parker, and DJ Neto. Your winner of Chemo's Tropical Car Wash Heat Race number 2 in the Tarleton Motorsports 21 from Alice Springs, Australia, in a Kistler-powered Maxim chassis. Sponsored by Tarleton & Son, American Rock and Rent, Durst Incorporated, and Factory Cane. Picking up where you left off last night. Let him hear you, James McFadden. And there he is. Again, picking up where he left off here, Josh.
Sorry, quick housekeeping deal here. It's the total for 50-50 is 1,000, so it's 500 to win right now. So you need to drive those numbers up. I needed to get that info out to you. I just got that report to me. 500 to win at this moment because it is 1,000 total. So here on out, it'll be the winning amount that I'll give you.
All right, yeah, good clarification there. Third and final heat race presented by Wedge High Performance Karts. Wedge Karts is redefining what it means to race. Born from a passion for speed and skill, they're fully custom, hand-built wedge frame karts are crafted for pure performance. Check them out at wedgekarts.com. Again, that's Wedge Karts, no E on wedge.com. And here is your lineup for your third and final heat race. On the pole, in the Holmes Racing 18T from Jacksonville, Oregon, in the Ryder Power Triple X, sponsored by Legacy Builder Supply, Shane DeWalt Trucking, Orville Tax, and Lentz Machinery, it's Tanner Holmes. Starting second in the Bates Hamilton Racing 21L from Rio Oso, California, Kistler Power to Maxim Chassis, sponsored by Specified Pipe, Lippert Construction, Dan Ewart Sales, ADS, and Lithia Ford and Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Roseburg, it's Landon Brooks. Starting third in the 402 Driver Development number 10 from Clovis, California, Ryder Power to Maxim, sponsored by Gary Silva Ranches, Silva's All Natural Beef, J.I. Apparel, J.B. Critchley, and Mid-Valley Financial, it's Dominic Gordon. Starting fourth in the Robert Lee Layton 21P from Cobble Hill, British Columbia, in a Shark Power to Maxim, sponsored by Malahat Auto Recycling, Saratoga Motorsports Park, Shark Racing Engines and Grinders Automotive and Marine, it's Robbie Price. Starting fifth in the Clatt Racing 77 from Langley, British Columbia, in a Favre Power Triple X chassis, sponsored by Chilliwack Ford, Capstone Plastering, Cogswell Cogs, and Orca Auto Sales, it's Levi Clatt. Starting sixth in the BCCR 121 from Fresno, California, Kistler Power to Maxim Chassis, sponsored by Tarleton & Son, Arctic Construction, St. Cal Services, and Bandy & Associates, it's Caden Steele. Starting seventh in the Eden Motorsports 14 from Fresno, California, Kistler Power to Maxim Chassis, sponsored by Pacific Boring, M&L Plumbing, and Circle J5 Ranch, it's Mariah Eade. And starting eighth in the Bell Racing 551 from Sacramento, in a Kistler Power to Helix, sponsored by Clearwater Alliance, Simpson Race Products, and Southern Oregon Motorsports, it's Angelique Bell. That's your lineup for Wedge High Performance Karts Heat Race number 3. So Robbie Price, that's the quick qualifier in this heat race, I believe, would make the dash by finishing in the top 5 along with the winner of this heat race. Dalton Christmas tuned in on FloRacing. Dalton, great to hear from you. There's a lot of asphalt racing with the Northwest Focus Midgets, and he's got $100 in store for someone if he finishes top 5. He does not know this. I won't say his name. Final heat race of the evening for the NARC 410 Sprint Cars. Holmes and Brooks out front, and here we go. Tanner Holmes, and they're going to say no. They don't like that one. And they're going to call Tanner Holmes for the false start. So they will move him back. So he will go back a row. That's going to move up Dominic Gordon to the outside of the front row, and that'll shuffle Landon Brooks inside. So it's an opportunity now for Dominic Gordon, winner of the Dave Bradway Jr. Memorial a couple of weeks ago down in Placerville. We'll try this again. Heat race number 3, take 2. And Dominic Gordon's going to try and throw it in. Not going to work. Brooks to the point. Landon Brooks will lead lap 1 over Gordon. And 3 wide up front for third. And a caution on the speedway for Angelique Bell. Spun around in the middle of turns 3 and 4. So some difficulties getting this third heat race going. So no laps completed here. It's going to be another attempt to a third attempt to get this third and final heat race underway as Bell gets her car straightened out and she'll get pushed back off. Bell is joining us for all 4 of the Oregon shows this week before going back home to Sacramento. We mentioned the NARC Benevolent Fund. Angelique Bell was a recipient after her accident down in Medford this week last year. So we will try this one more time. Let's see if the third time is the charm. Landon Brooks, Dominic Gordon, your front row. Price and Holmes, row 2. Klatt and Steele, row 3. Here we go. And here comes Gordon there trying to turn it down. Not going to work. Brooks to the point again here. Nice big hole over in turn 3. Number of drivers hitting that. That's affecting a few of them. Brooks leading that first lap, and finally we are officially underway with this third heat race. Brooks leading over Gordon, Holmes, Price. Oh, trouble for Mariah Eade. She's into the wall. Almost went over. Bell spins out to avoid. We will need a hook over in turn 3. Middle of turns 3 and 4 for Mariah Eade. She got into the wall, it looked like. Almost went upside down. Keeps it on all 4s here, but you can tell from up here and on the FloRacing monitor here, severe damage to the front end of that car, and we can see her left rear is down as well.
Yeah, it looked like she was just trying to shade up a little bit up above that that hole that's developed there in turn number 3. Got a little bit up into that cushion and hooked it.
And Angelique Bell, they're just spinning out to avoid all that was going on here. Levi Klatt may have made some contact as well with Eade as she was trying not to go upside down here, and it looks like Klatt got away from that unscathed as they get the tow truck backed up to the number 14 car. Mariah Eade was running in the top 10 last night before having a right rear tire go down in last night's feature down in Medford. She and her father were talking to me earlier, and they were finally getting some good speed. They were feeling good here about their car in the main event before losing that tire. And they're going to push Angelique Bell off one more time. And we can see Mariah Eade, she's out of the car, inspecting the damage here. Give her a hand raise, fans. The young lady from Fresno. So it's been somewhat of a disappointing trip so far. Again, a good run ruined by a flat tire last night in Medford, and now getting severe damage to that car. We'll see if they get fixed for tonight's feature. With 24 cars, there will be no B main. We did get one lap in. Landon Brooks is your leader, looking to go to the dash for the second night in a row this week. Dominic Gordon running in second in the 10 car. Tanner Holmes running third in the 18T. Robbie Price looking to lock himself in the dash, I believe, with a top 5 finish as the quick qualifier in this group. Caden Steele is running 5th in the 121 as fans are giving Mariah Eade a hand one more time as she rolls by in the tow truck. And it looks like make sure everything is good. And we're going to give them the one to go here. Again, cone out on the front stretch. No passing before the cone. No going below the cone. No hitting the cone. Otherwise, you will be penalized on the next stoppage, whether it's a caution, red flag, or the checkered flag. Still 7 laps to go in this third heat race presented by Wedge High Performance Karts. Landon Brooks leading the field to the MechTech Titanium restart zone. And we're back underway. Most of the drivers liking the high side over in turns 1 and 2. And even with that hole developing in turn 3, they're liking the top side over in turns 3 and 4 as well, as we get one more lap in. Landon Brooks out front. The lead is almost 2 seconds as we're now halfway through. 4 down and 4 to go. 2.3 seconds. The gap between Brooks and Dominic Gordon, that 10 car, running in second. Tanner Holmes running in third. And then a little bit of a ways back to Robbie Price in the 4th spot with 3 laps to go in this final heat race. And caution one more time, as Angelique Bell is spun around again over in turn 4 with 3 laps to go. So this third heat race, this has been troublesome here.
This one's taking a little bit to get through here, that's for sure. And track is looking good. It's developing. It's got that, I think, slick characteristic that guys like Selzy are really looking for in it. So I like what I'm seeing there.
Yeah, it looks like the track is starting to slick off a bit already here. Got to about 80 degrees today here in Roseburg. Not as warm as we got down in Medford yesterday, but still plenty of sun today. Beating on this track, they did water it throughout.
Well, if I know my guys back there on the track crew, they are watching this develop like a hawk, and they are going to make a call on what kind of work they may want to do to the track so we can make sure we keep the surface something that we're after. While I have just a moment here, I do want to thank, actually, especially Lithia. I don't know that I've mentioned it tonight, but Lithia Stores of Roseburg are the presenting sponsor helping bring the NARC King of the West Sprints into town. So big shout out to Lithia for helping bring the NARC 410 King of the West Sprints up here for the fastest 5 days, night number 2.
And we appreciate the support very much. We're very happy to be here in Roseburg for the 3rd consecutive year. That was 2 cautions charged to Bell. Her heat race is over. Landon Brooks leading the way, approaching the MechTech Titanium restart zone. 3 laps to go. And Caden Steele gonna throw it in. Not going to work here. Still running 5th. Tried to pass Robbie Price for 4th. That backfired. And Landon Brooks already pulling away over a second ahead of Dominic Gordon. Going to see the white flag one more time around. down the back stretch and making his way through 3. And out of 4, Heat 3 goes to Landon Brooks. Dominic Gordon will be second over Tanner Holmes, Robbie Price, Caden Steele, and Levi Klatt. Your winner of Wedge High Performance Karts Heat Race number 3 in the Bates Hamilton 21L from Rio Oso, California, Kistler Power to Maxim. Sponsored by Specified Pipe, Lipper Construction, Dan Ewart Sales, ADS Cloud Valve, Lithia, Ford, and Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Roseburg, North Bay Waterworks, and Mozingo Construction. Let them hear you, Landon Brooks. That's going to do it for heat race action for the NARC 410 sprint cars. We're going to get the dash draw taken care of, I believe, out back here. We'll have our Beacon Wealth Strategies Raymond James Trophy Dash coming up later, followed by our 30-lap Hoosier Racing Tires main event. And we mentioned earlier he was supposed to be on the pole of heat race number 1, but ended up doing an engine swap. Gage Garcia is about to roll onto the racetrack here and maybe get a test fire here done. We'll need a push truck, and here comes that push vehicle. So tough break. Gage Garcia was supposed to be on the pole of that first heat race, but had a problem with the motor they found here, so they did a swap after qualifying, and he will have to start deep in the field here. We'll get a little test fire. Car fired here, and hopefully they'll be good to go. And rolling very slowly there. We'll see if he makes it back. Well, the quad's coming here, so he'll get pushed back to his trailer at least here. And we got the other heat race for the Northwest Focus Midget Series on to the racetrack here. And Josh, I'll turn things back over to you.
All right, once again, thanks a lot, Andrew. It's been fun so far. Can't wait to finish the night out here with you. Heat 1B for your Northwest Focus Midgets out on the racetrack now. It's another 8-lap heat race here. Starting on the pole out of Kalama, Washington, it's Gary Wegener in the 5. To his outside out of Granite Falls, Washington in the 24E, Nick Evans. Ashley Thompson out of Arlington, Washington in the 41 starts third position. To her outside, Michael Volbricht out of Shoreline, Washington in the 4. In the 41B, out of Cedro-Woolley, Washington, Brad Pritchard starts 5th position, and to his outside, Randy Schaff out of Fife, Washington in the 23. Starting 7th out of Cornelius, Oregon in the 91, Tommy Beck, and to his outside, starting 8th position out of Linden, Washington, Tyler Luce in the 32. Shane Smith out of Cedro-Woolley, Washington in the 17M. He starts 9th. To his outside, Chad Kincaid out of Bothell, Washington in the 50. Doug Davenport starts 11th in the 8D, driver out of Vernonia. And to his outside, out of Springfield in the 87, it's Glenn Bittrolf. Had to double check in my race pass. It shows for Shane Smith, it shows Bow, Washington, but he told me Cedro-Woolley, Washington, so we're gonna go with that. Heat number 1B for your Northwest Focus Midgets kicking off, and we are green. Once again, right out front, good start for Evans. Evans was the winner at Southern Oregon Speedway last night. And that one's going to get called back.
Just a warning.
All right, a warning for a jump start there. We're going to try that one over again. Now, no change in the lineup here. Full restart. 8 laps the distance. And we are green once again. Things looking good for Nick Evans. This time he's going to tiptoe around the bottom. Michael Volbrecht with a run around the outside. He's in second position on the racetrack right now, just behind Evans. Then it's Gary Wegener and Randy Schaff in fourth. Getting busy there in turns 1 and 2 as they are just all over the racetrack. Of course, it's a little harder to see these guys from way up here in the booth with no side wing on them, and I don't get to see these guys all that often, so relying pretty heavily on timing and scoring. I know your leader out front, though, is Michael Volbrecht, and he picked up the win here. We talked about earlier, about a month ago, the last time the Northwest Focus Midgets came to Douglas County. He picked up the main event win that night. Nick Evans was not in attendance. He continues to run second position. In third place, it's Ashley Thompson in that 41. And just behind her, Randy Schaff. Then it's Shane Smith, Gary Wegener, and Brad Pritchard. Pritchard getting up alongside of Wegener. That battle down the back straightaway now. Heading into turn number 3. Pritchard taking over 6th position from Wegener. 5 down, 3 to go for the final heat race of the evening's festivities. Volbrecht continues to lead over Evans, Thompson, and Schaff. Schaff ahead of Shane Smith. Smith trying to make a move there, coming down the back straightaway. Looks like Shane Smith may have that position. He does. White flag flies for your leader, Michael Volbrecht, as he has about a half a lap left in this heat race. Coming through turn 3 and off of 4 now, picking up the win in Heat 1B. It's Michael Volbrecht, followed by Nick Evans, Ashley Thompson, Shane Smith, Randy Schaff, Brad Pritchard, Chad Kincaid, Doug Davenport, Gary Wegener, Tyler Luce, Glenn Bittroff, and Tommy Beck will round out the order. Well, that's going to conclude the heat race action here tonight, folks. I want to give you a quick update. So I was working off a little bit of incorrect info. Our 50-50 is the UVC senior class. So if you want to get an opportunity to win some cash and support the UVC senior class, get your 50-50 tickets.
Well, we get a little bit of a break here. So, some good action happening in heat races for both the Northwest Focus Midgets and the NARC 410 sprint cars here. But Josh, you don't get to see the 410 sprint cars so often here in Oregon here. What do you think so far?
Man, I'm loving it. And so I've actually only seen the 410s at our track once, and that was High Limit last year. My wife schedules a camping trip, you see, every year on this weekend. And so the first 2 years